Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can tell by the title of this video, today we are going to be doing an 8-month loc update. So if you are interested in hearing about my loc journey and how my locs have progressed over the past couple of months, just stick around. So before I get into the video, full disclosure, you are going to hear some noise in the background. You're going to hear some loud noise because I am here at home with my kids and they are in full effect. So, you know, sorry not sorry, you're going to hear my kids in the background. But moving on, like I said, this is going to be my 8-month loc update. Today is April 5th and I am officially 8 months into my journey. The last time I updated you guys, I was actually 3 months. It was my 3-month loc update. And I mean, quite obviously from the time of installing my starter locs to, you know, the 3-month point, there wasn't really much expected to have changed in that time. But I've been MIA for the past couple of months. So I do have some updates that are pretty significant from the 3-month point to 8 months, which is now 5 months later. So I am going to share those with you. I did want to jump on camera when I reached my 6-month point and just kind of update you guys on my process. But, you know, life happens. I didn't really kind of feel like getting in front of the camera. I've had a lot going on. So I just thought that, you know, since I am looking presentable today, I would just hop on the camera and give you guys this quick little update. So, like I said, I'm 8 months into my loc journey and a lot has, you know, changed as far as maturation goes. I'm really, really pleased with my locs and their current state. I'm going to get closer at the end of this video and show you, you know, kind of up close and personal what it's looking like. Today, like I said, is April 5th as I'm filming, and my last retwist was March 18th. And from the time that I've been off the camera, I've done 3 retwists in total. So that's just kind of bringing you up to speed on just kind of like what I've done, I guess, like hair-wise. But let's get more into it. So I honestly, and I mentioned this in my other updates as well, I honestly have been not like on the lookout for, but like really questionable about like what this ugly phase was gonna look like for me, because the videos that I've watched of people before I decided to go ahead and start my loc journey, a lot of people speak about this ugly phase, or, you know, that one pivotal part of your journey when your hair is transitioning, when it's just like really, really ugly, or, you know, that's what they call it. But I have not experienced that. I am so in love with my locs. I am still so in love with this journey. And I think that it was the best decision for myself. And as I mentioned before, I locked my son's hair as well. And it has been the best thing for his hair as well. It's really kind of cool watching my hair and my son's hair kind of transition at the same time. We're only 4 days apart in our journey. So it's really kind of cool to see like our different stages of our hair. I will say that my son's hair actually matured a lot quicker than mine's did. I'm not 100% sure as to why, but it definitely did. But my hair is, you know, catching up and it's looking pretty good. So like I said, I don't think that I ever hit the ugly stage. I love the way that my locs look. I love the way that they fall. I love the way that they, you know, move, all that different type of stuff. They still are relatively light. You know, they don't like weigh down. They're not, you know, they're not like a burden to have at all, honestly. There has been less webbing as I've continued on through my journey. It's like with every retwist I do, the easier the process gets. So I think that they're really starting to solidify in their positions, and they're really starting to, I mean, they're starting to lock. So it's getting a lot easier to kind of get through them and do a retwist. I can get through a retwist in about an hour, which is drastically different from the first retwist that I did, because my anticipation with my first retwist was that I was gonna, you know, zoom through it real quick, but it actually ended up taking me a couple of hours, which was completely unexpected. But I can get through a retwist now in about an hour's time, which is super duper helpful. So yeah, so like I said, there's not much webbing. My ends, not all of them, but a good amount of my ends have sealed off. I have a lot of ends, I don't know if you can see, that are kind of like this. And I know some people will like kind of cut those and kind of make all of their locks uniform, and you know, if their ends are sealed, have them all sealed, or have them all a little bit like free flowy wispy like that. But I just like the process. However my hair is trying to transition, is trying to form, I'm just very, very open to whatever it wants to do. So I'm just letting it do its thing. I've got pretty much, I'd say close to about halfway down my locks where my twist pattern is no longer visible. I do have a lot of locks where the twist pattern is still visible. I have one lock in particular somewhere back here where I can actually put my finger through the twist. But it's not a problem for me right now, so I'm just kind of going with the flow with that. At some point though, I probably will get a crochet tool and just kind of lock that portion of my hair because I need one anyway for one of my locks that's up at the front. For one of my locks that's up here at the front, I've showed you guys this one pretty much in every video that I've done dealing with my locks, and I'll get closer and show you in a little bit. But basically, I have a bald spot on this side of my head. So when I started my locks, what I did was I took hair from the left side of the bald spot and the right side of the bald spot, and I twisted it over the bald spot to kind of like close that gap so there wouldn't be such a huge space. But as I went through the process, it was pretty much splitting in the middle where that bald spot was, and it was putting a lot of tension on the lock. So the hair on the left side of was kind of out, especially when I haven't had a retwist. It was just out, and the hair on the right side had the full weight of the lock on it. And I was just afraid that at some point that hair, because it was pretty thin at that point, was going to break, and it was going to pretty much take my whole lock off. I was trying to figure out my options. I was originally going to just, you know, retwist it, use a crochet tool to lock it up high so that I don't have to worry about it continuing to split, but I didn't get the tools. So what I ended up doing when I did my retwist, just because I needed some kind of remedy, was I took scissors and I cut it from the left side of the bald spot where it met the lock. I cut it and I twisted it around the hair on the right side. And when I get my crochet tool, the next time I do my retwist, I am going to go ahead and lock it up at the top, just so that I can prevent the splitting and prevent the tension, because there was a lot of tension on that area of my head, and I just want to preserve the hair. I don't want to really, you know, break it off. So, but again, it's a little unconventional, so I'm just kind of figuring out as I go along. I'm just kind of doing what feels more natural, because like I said, when it was separated, it was providing a lot of tension and it hurt pretty badly. So I had to just go ahead and cut that tension and twist it around the lock. I was gonna wrap it, but I didn't have any confidence that that was gonna stay, so I did twist it, and I'm gonna go in when I do my next retwist, and I'm going to lock it at the base. So that's the update on that. Additionally, as far as maintenance goes, I pretty much never sleep with a bonnet on, just because I get tension headaches, and bonnets and scarves really give me headaches. So I would just prefer not to wear them. I don't even really tie my hair up. I know this is all blasphemy in regards to the lock community, but it just is what it is at this point. Like I said, my journey has been going beautifully. So as far as my hair goes, if it's not broken, I'm not going to fix it. I haven't noticed any issues. I sleep on a satin pillowcase, and I've had no issues as far as like my hair goes and its maturation goes in connection with like my lack of, you know, securing my hair when I go to sleep. Now, if I have a fresh retwist, I will put on a scarf and then put on a bonnet, or put on a bonnet and then put on a scarf, whichever order. I will wrap my hair for probably the first 4 days to a week. But after that, all bets are off. I don't care. I don't really do a lot, and I'm okay with not having a fresh retwist all the time because I can make do. And like I said, right now, I haven't had a retwist since March 18th, and today is April 5th, and I really think that my hair is holding up pretty nicely. Actually, the other day, I put some braids in it and took the braids out, so I'm still able to like style it and things like that, and that was actually my first time doing it, and it turned out pretty nice, so I'm okay. I actually don't even retwist I believe that the recommendation is every, 4 to 6 weeks or more on the 6-week end, specifically with your starter locks. I haven't done that. My last retwist video, it was like I retwisted after 2 months of not having a retwist at all, and that's pretty much my standard. I go about 2 months plus some weeks without doing a retwist. Now, my last time I retwisted my hair, the only reason why I had to do one so quickly afterwards, it was pretty much about a month apart. And the reason for that is because I went into a home that was undergoing some renovations. So there was a lot of, chemicals and like dust flying in the air, and it got in my hair. So I washed my hair, which essentially washed out my retwist so that, I wouldn't bring the chemicals into, the bed and all those different type of things, which I actually am going to do a video on chemical exposure in the future, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, that's why those retwists were so close together. Otherwise, I probably would not have retwisted my hair again. But either way, that's pretty much how that goes. As far as like spraying my hair goes, I just don't. I probably should. My hair would have actually probably matured a lot quicker had I committed to spraying my hair like on a daily basis, but I just don't. The reason mainly is because when I spray my hair, it gets frizzy and it starts webbing and all that different type of stuff, and I just don't really care for like that frizz. So I won't spray my hair, especially coming off of a retwist. I just won't spray my hair. I'm not even gonna give you like a frequency of how often I spray my hair because it's like that few far in between. I will probably spray my hair like once. Like I had to go somewhere today, so I sprayed my hair today just to kind of make it look a little bit neater when I pulled it up, or just to kind of be able to maneuver it around a little bit better so that I can pull it up. But other than that, I'm not really spraying my hair. Just like I also don't really spray my son's hair, mostly because he doesn't like it and he runs from it. But it's just a task, and I know that this is gonna sound like super duper lazy, but I locked my hair. A lot of the reason for the convenience of it so that I didn't have to really deal with my hair, because I have so many other things going on. My hair was like the last thing that I wanted to worry about. So I'm not really like super strict about making sure that I'm doing all of the things by the book for my hair. It's not really my concern. Like I said, if it's not broken, I'm not gonna fix it. My hair has been doing perfectly, honestly, as far as I can tell and as far as I'm concerned with. So me and my hair, we're in a happy space. This journey is going very well and I'm enjoying it. So I'm gonna get a little bit closer and I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna take my hair down and I'm gonna show you what I was talking about as far as like the lock with my bald spot, and I'll show you how my locks are maturing, and then I'm gonna get off this camera. So let's get close. Okay, so we're standing up, we're a little bit closer, so let me just go ahead and show you. Before I do a whole 360, this is the hair that has the bald spot in the middle. And I took hair from this side and this side, originally twisted it together. But then what happened was it ended up splitting, as it's doing right now. And, but it was locked right here where it was connected. It was locked here, but it was splitting up here. So it was applying a lot of pressure. It was applying a lot of tension on the rest of my lock, and it was kind of weighing it down on this end. So I took scissors and I cut it right here. And I twisted it around, which it has undone because I'm probably in need of a new retwist, but that's okay. I guess I'm showing you now kind of how I did it because here it is. So I twisted it And what I plan on doing is when I get my crochet tool, I plan on going in right at the base and locking it right up here so that it'll stop splitting, at least splitting all the way down there and applying that tension, because my fear is that I'm gonna end up losing the remainder of this lock, which I'm not really interested in doing. Now, I could have, you know, done a lock on this side and on this side of the bald spot just to prevent all of this, but I don't really like the idea of that, because then I have to worry about that bald spot just kind of always being front and center, and it's just not my fave. But anyway, so this is what my hair is looking like. I'll do a quick 360 for you. And this is what my texture is looking like up close. And this is where I'll show you, like, you see some of my ends here are still kind of like, they're trying to seal, right? But they're still a little bit, I think the word would be wispy, I don't know. But like ones like this, those are pretty much like sealing. And what I do with this like extra little piece of hair is I just wrap it upwards back around the hair. I mean, it doesn't always stay, but I just do that. But yeah, so like my ends are definitely inconsistent in regards to like sealing, and the ones that are still remaining kind of like free. But that's one of the things that gives my locks character, and I really, really love that about them. But like I said, this is kind of what it's looking like up close.
Walking on water, got a big cup full of water. It look like I got a disorder. She know I'm good. Being the pressure, I'm healthy. Might fuck around, give me your daughter. Still selling pain, never a drought. When I get back, what the fuck did you water? Bitch, I'ma grind until I'm down. Might fuck around, take a trip, go to Florida. Walking on water, got a big cup full of water. It look like I got a disorder. She know I'm good. Being the pressure, I'm healthy. Might fuck around, give me your daughter. Still selling weed, never a drought. When I get back, what the fuck did you water? Bitch, I'ma grind until I'm down. Might fuck around, take a trip, go to Florida. I'm on the floor, make up a bed on the floor. I still remember when I was poor. Now I got more, but I still can use a lot. So
that's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything else that I need to share, but if you have any questions, I mean, you can definitely ask me and I'll answer them for you. I really, really, like I said, have been enjoying this journey. I love my hair. I love how it's maturing, how it's transitioning. I love everything about it. One of my favorite things about my hair is actually like its fullness. I wasn't anticipating having so much fullness, but it is very full. And I also like just kind of its shape, which I attribute that to cutting it before I twisted it up, which if you're thinking about starting your lock journey, I definitely recommend kind of cutting it in the style that you're gonna wanna wear your locks, because I kind of cut it just how I wanted it, and it's been very beneficial for me ever since. So yeah, because I cut it before, it is definitely growing in the shape that I wanted it to grow in, which is awesome. So anyway, I'm gonna get off this camera because I've been talking and rambling and trying to figure out how to talk to you guys, because it's been a long time since I've been in front of the camera, so I kind of forgot how to do it. But anyway, I'm gonna get off this camera, go be with my family, and probably eat. You don't care, you didn't ask, but I told you, so anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, but thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're interested in staying up to date with my lock journey, definitely stick around. There's more content to come. The next video will probably end up being a kind of like a retwist with me video. I'll probably sit down and just kind of talk to you guys about some things that's been on my mind while I retwist my hair in real time. I might. Been thinking about it, I might, but you know, don't hold me to it, because one thing about me is I'm going to disappear. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next one. Bye!